As you think about that life experience and a behavior or decision with kindness, leading with kindness, creating influence with kindness, just treating people with kindness, has it been active or has it just been part of your operating system DNA that you've just done because you were so intentional about being kind? Give me an example or a story where you've chosen to be that kind or that kindness because of who your dad was.
I just think that you're going to get a lot further being kind. There was a time where I was a little late getting to the airport, and it was actually because I plugged it in the wrong way. But I called one of my colleagues and I said, "So are you at the gate?" And Dave says, "Molly, we're taking off."
Uh, you're a little late.
I was in the middle of finding a parking space, so it was very clear I was going to miss my flight, and so I went to the, I'm not going to say which, it doesn't matter which one I'm talking about, but no airline is really known for being there for you. So I went to the counter of the flight that I was going to take, and there were about 10 or 12 people in front of me who had their own agenda and had their own issues and had their own frustrations. And so patiently I'm waiting in the line, and as I'm waiting in that line, I'm just getting more mad and more frustrated, and so I get to the counter, and the guy across the counter, his name is Jay. I just remember that because of his name tag. And Jay did not even look up. He just said, "What do you need?" In that moment, I wanted to wring his neck. And that was not the right approach. And just taking a deep breath, I looked at him and called him by his name. And Dusty, you would have thought that the seas had parted and this bright light was shining down between the two of us. And he looked up at me and he said, "Do you know you're the first person to call me by my name?" Somebody just dignifying someone else who's doing, quite frankly, a thankless job. We had a nothing conversation. He looked for the next flight and he said, "You know what? Your flight leaves in 48 minutes. I've upgraded you to first class. Have a great day." So now I'm late for all of my flights.
Uh, I love that because saying someone's name is so powerful. And I had a mentor years ago that shared a similar story to you and said that when you humanize the person on the other side of what for you might be a transaction, what you're really doing is you are creating a relationship and you're moving past a transactional element, some type of monetary exchange, some type of value exchange, but you're really getting into a human exchange. And that really stuck with me. And I make it a point now to practice, because I would not say that I'm good at remembering names, but I make it a point to ask everyone their name and then repeat it back. Go to a server or whatever. Even if they have their name tag on, I'll find a way to say something simple like, "Now, how do you pronounce that, John?" Maybe it's not John, but I'll do something like that because people don't hear their names spoken. And not in the, it can't be in a self-serving way where you're like, "Hello, John," but it's just got to be natural. And I love that you do that.
Well, I think about the service industry. It's they're invisible. But
Totally.
here they are. If they weren't there, we wouldn't have the experience. And just thinking about it, and one of the things I'm super keen on, it doesn't matter where we are, if we're out to dinner, it doesn't matter what the restaurant is instead of it just being a transaction where somebody's bringing me my food, when you acknowledge that person, then it becomes an experience. And again, then the experience is usually better. They'll go a step further. Their eyes are more on you. It's just a simple thing that makes such a big difference.